The same allure that LeBron had towards the Los Angeles Lakers. Just the building, the culture. Same thing, the same way I know that KD feels about the Knicks.
Other things, he likes kangaroos. That starts with a K, and Knicks also start with a K. I mean, there's a long list, but we just stuck to those 5. Nick, you buying that the Knicks could be a destination for KD?
Yes. This is why I've been saying this. I got to get better on television, man, because he said this on TV once, and it's news.
That's my prayer.
I understand.
I do my verse and everything.
He says this on TV once. I see it everywhere on the internet. I've been saying this for a month. Now, Chris Haynes, to his credit, is a very good reporter, and I think his words are going to carry more weight than mine. I get that as a reporter versus commentator, but I wasn't pulling it out of thin air. This is what NBA people have been talking about for quite some time, that Kevin Durant and another guy might end up 10 blocks from here, where we film this television show. Like, it is... Again, I will be consistent on this. Kevin Durant has not made up his mind. He does not know if he's leaving Golden State at all, and if he does, where he would go. But the Knicks have the ability, as soon as they move on from Joakim Noah, to add 2 guys. They already have Kristaps. And a Kevin Durant as your best guy, and then a guard, be it Butler, Kyrie, maybe a third mystery guy, or plus Kristaps, that is good enough to contend in the East immediately. And if he wants to have the LeBron type of, oh, you didn't give me credit for these championships, you gonna give me credit for this one. The Knicks didn't have the Cavs drought, but the Knicks ain't won a title since '73. Like, they have this great history that's more mythology than actual history. And so, yes, of course, this is a real thing.
See, as someone who's a fan of the Knicks, you know this team very well. What would it do for the NBA for the Knicks to get someone like KD, maybe someone else, and have a little relevance again back?
Well, first we got to give James Dolan a little bit of credit. He takes a beating, and the reason why is because when he hired Scott Perry, he told him you can be patient in trying to build this. Scott Perry took over the team last year as a general manager. We saw their star and Kristaps get hurt, and they're going to take their time as far as him coming back. And Kristaps and his ability to be able to stay there in New York is also going to be a drawing card for Kevin Durant or another superstar. I just know in talking with the people at the Knicks, in 2019, they're going big game hunting. And just like it's not Magic Johnson going after him, but Scott Perry has strong relationships in the basketball community. Some of those other things that Chris Haynes pointed out, very, very intriguing. Man, we haven't heard anything about Kevin Durant's dad. No. Oh, his dad being a Knicks fan, the ability to be able to resurrect somewhere, and then also listen to the messaging from Durant, what he said recently. Oh, I'm going to let you know the reason why this time, and it's a legitimate. I got business in New York. It's the mecca of basketball. If he could revive that, it would be LeBron-ish. It would be great for the NBA, for Kevin Durant. I believe there's a few spots.
Why would it be great for the NBA?
Because certain teams matter more than others. And even though the Knicks haven't earned it on the court, they matter more than others. If we had a situation where you have LeBron wearing a Lakers uniform, Durant wearing a Knicks uniform, the Celtics super relevant even if Kyrie leaves because of all their young talent, Philly doing what they're doing, those are 4 of your 5 most important franchises in the sport.
Yeah, I just think it's very intriguing when you have another superstar like KD that's going to attract a certain amount of attention. I know it's the market, but it's about the balance. Right now, we have too many of the great players in the West. We have too many we have more better teams in the West. The balance of the NBA. We were worried about this a couple years ago. Then we saw LeBron go to the West. We're talking about, hey, man, we got to change the seeding in the playoffs. We need a player like Kevin Durant to be able to come back to the East. And if Kyrie stays there in Boston, they're a juggernaut. He's going to get someone else there in Knicks. You got Kristaps there with him. So you already have 2 unicorns. I mean, you're talking about 2 guys 7-foot-ish shooting the ball away. I believe that could be a special place. In Golden State, it's still going to be special.
They'd be back to just being the Splash Brothers. All that team did was win a title and then win 73 games. Like, because Steph's not going anywhere, I don't believe Klay's going anywhere. Go ahead, Jen.
Who would you like to see ideally matched up with Kevin Durant in New York?
Oh, I think KD and Kyrie in the Mecca would be dope. I think it would be exciting to watch. I think their styles of basketball play well together. You have Kristaps there as well. Like, Jimmy Butler is an excellent player, and you can make the argument that on both when you incorporate the defensive end of the ball, some would argue Butler's better than Kyrie. But as far as an aesthetically pleasing brand of basketball, Kyrie and KD playing together in New York would be fantastic. Now, again, I want to circle back to something Chris Haynes said, because if people aren't as dialed in as the thing about Rich Kleinman's real. Kevin Durant, Rich Kleinman is not just Kevin Durant's business partner. They're launching a television series together. They do podcast series together. Rich Kleinman has helped make Kevin Durant maybe almost as much money off the court as Durant has made on the court. Their partnership is very important. So it's not just like, oh, you know, an agent has a relationship. These guys are actual, real partners. So that was a very important point Chris Haynes made. And that you're right about the dad thing. I never heard any. I've heard a lot about Mama Durant. I've never heard a mumbling word about Kevin Durant's father. So that was an interesting aspect I had not heard and I had not considered.
And San Francisco's great. What Golden State got going on is great, but it's not Los Angeles. Now, you got LeBron and potentially Kawhi in Los Angeles. To me, the next logical move, given everything that KD has, would be a move like New York. Like, that would be it, and then I can get Nick Wright to apologize, and him and KD can mend it up.
I ain't got nothing to apologize for.
Nice.
And then we bring it right here to the city.
I like
You and Durant, you have a little cocktail at your spot in Harlem.
Up in Red Rooster, me, Durant, and Kyrie.
They're already getting drinks. Got to take a break. Coming up next, back to football. Will Patrick Mahomes' hot start come to a screeching halt against the Jaguars defense? Next on First Things First.
Deontay said, can he come? But he's got 3 guests.